Welcome, class. So this week you have another choice board. Start off in your Spanish 1 classroom. And when you look over here at upcoming events, you have your weekly checklist or you have your choice board. Click on the choice board when you're ready. It says October 1st because it is due this Friday. And so that gives you a little bit more wiggle room. You want to get it done by Friday, but if you need a little more time, the zeros don't go in until Monday. So if you look over here, you've got this choice board right here. It is just a Google Slides presentation. You do not have to have Google, just click it and it'll bring you to the next slide. You're going to choose between speaking or writing. Let's start with speaking. So it's going to be very, very short conversation. Click. If you want to do a conversation with somebody, let's say you have a family member or friend who could practice this with you, you do not have to be great. Remember, the goal is to be understood by others. Then you would simply go through the check marks on the left. This orange box tells you exactly what you need to say in order to get that 100. So, hello, something you like to do. So, me gusta, no me gusta, soy, ask the other person, and say goodbye. Pretty simple back and forth conversation. The other option, if you just push the next arrow, will take you to introduce yourself. Hola, me llamo, me gusta, no me gusta, soy, and adios. Super quick. All of these come straight from your vocabulary. Remember, if you have to look up vocabulary words, then you're not doing what you're supposed to. This comes straight from your textbook. You can either open in your textbook, you have page 46, 46, or you have page 70. So this one is talking about describing yourself. The previous chapter last week was talking about things you like to do, and all of that can be found in your textbook on those pages. Or if you are in the Quizlet, you have week 4, which was the things you like to do, and week 5, describing yourself and others. And all of that is right here in your choice board. You can click the links to get to that vocabulary. If you want to go to other options, notice you have right here. Let's say you don't feel comfortable speaking, you can write. These pictures are meant to be an indicator. You are not writing this much. This is not what you're doing. You're going to do the instructions. Let's start with comic strip. And in this comic strip, you're going to greet one another, share activities you like to do, describe your personality, ask if they like to do it, and you're going to say goodbye. Go through the checklist. I had a lot of students ask, can we do something other than people? You can draw animals, you can draw people. You could use clip art and do it in a PowerPoint or a Google Slides, or you could do a Google Doc. If you do this option, you need to make sure you have in Spanish each one of these and a picture to show that there's 2 characters exchanging this information. If you don't want the comic strip, you're welcome to talk just about yourself using a 1-pager. Notice you're not giving this much information like in the picture, you're giving just the information that's in orange. So tell your name, 2 activities you like to do, 1 activity you don't, describe your personality, and then what are you not like. Notice all of this comes from your vocabulary for week 5 and week 4, or in your checklist, your vocabulary from the chapter. So page 70 in your textbook and page 46 in your textbook. If you have to look up more than 1 word in another source, then go back and read the instructions. This should be very straightforward and simple. You have a checklist on the left. When you're ready, you click where it says week 5 TGA Choice Board Spanish 1. Notice sometimes it ends up at the top depending on which menu you're in. Just look for the blue link that says week 5 TGA. TGA stands for Teacher Graded Assessment. The exact same instructions are here. All of this information is just explaining to you that in the state of Texas, that's how we are showing that this is what you're required to learn. All right, here's the deal. If it is blank, it ends up being a 0. There are people who turn in blank assignments, and we assume that it's an error, but it does go back as a 0. Please make sure you're attaching whatever it is. As long as you are understandable and show that you've mastered the vocabulary, you can get a perfect 100. We're not looking for perfect, we're looking for progress. When you've got your assignment, you're going to either upload it by adding a file, and it'll pull it off of your computer, and you can upload it here, or you can click and drag it. If you want to record audio, click here. Make sure that you give permission. If it gives you an error, it's often that you may have given it, told it that it cannot access your microphone. So check up here at the top right. If you have an X mark or a line going through it, it means that you didn't block, that you blocked it, it doesn't have access. So you would want to say continue allowing it and hit done. Same thing goes if you want to record video. Make sure that you gave it access to your microphone and your camera. Okay, those are the 2 most common problems. And when you're finished, you would hit, you would hit new recording, and it's going to record your voice. New recording, and it's going to record your, and hit add. Make sure you hit add so it adds it to your page here. If you're one of mine who did a comic or something like that, you can paste your typing in here, what your words here. That way, in case we have a hard time reading it as your teacher, you still get credit for what you wrote here. Make sure you hit submit. That's how you turn it in, and it will let us know. Remember, we'll be grading you based on, are you showing that you understand? Did you meet all the requirements? Are you showing a basic understanding? Are you using phrases or individual words, right? Are you showing things that don't make sense? If you use a translator, it is an automatic 50 at the highest, and you can redo it. But remember, if you're using words that are not on here in your textbook vocabulary, or that we have not yet studied in week 4 or 5, or any of our weeks, then it's going to be assumed that you're letting a computer do the thinking for you. Please make sure you use your vocabulary. And if you're not sure how to get to those, remember, here you can click the yellow triangle on any one of these and they'll take you to these links. Here's the Quizlet, here's the Chapter 1A from last week and the Chapter 1B from last week, or from this week. All right, make sure you hit submit when you are ready and turn it into your teacher. Please be patient. It does take a couple days to grade these and get them back to you. Adios.